Hello, AP Physicsers. We just got some new guidelines and a guide for the 2020 AP Physics 1 test. So I'm going to walk you through some of these guidelines and make you aware of how the exam will work, what you need to have, how you're going to submit your response, and so on and so on. So let's get started. So this is the 2020 AP testing guide. I'm going to email it to you as well as upload it onto Teams so you can read it at your own leisure, but I'm going to walk you through the highlights right now. So essentially what we're going to talk about is your exam day checklist, which is actually this tab. I'm going to upload this as well. It's a checklist for you to make sure that you have everything you need for the exam. You will only have one required document, and that is your AP Physics 1 formula sheet. You can either use the one from class or print out a new one. It has not changed, so it is the same formula sheet. There will be a testing demo on May 4th that will allow you to basically test your browser and practice how you are going to answer the AP Physics 1 questions online. We don't have to worry about world language or culture exams. Let's keep on going. So what you're going to get, and this is very important, this is how you're going to access the test, is an AP exam e-ticket. So normally when you take the in-person AP Physics 1 exam, you sit down, you get a bunch of packets like bubble sheets, question packets, and you get these little stickers, and the stickers have your registered AP number, and that is used to identify you. It has a little barcode when they scan your Scantron and when they grade your written exam. So obviously we can't get any fun stickers this time around. You will get an AP exam e-ticket though. So that e-ticket is going to look something like this, and it's going to give you your AP ID number. The ticket will have, you'll get one ticket for every exam, so you'll get a different ticket for every different exam that you're taking. And that'll have the subject, the date, and then the time that exam is going to take place in what time zone. So what will happen is you'll get this ticket by email 2 days before the test that you're going to take. On the exam day, you will need this ticket to check into your exam. Again, it'll be unique for each exam. You're going to get a new ticket every exam. You can access this ticket from your email or from your student account on MyAP, which is myap.collegeboard.org. So when you registered for the AP exam, you had to give an email address. So the AP ID e-ticket will be sent to that email address that you use to register for the exam. If you don't remember that email address, I don't know how that's possible, but let's say you don't, you can go onto the MyAP website, either enter your access information or create your account, and your exam ticket will be available there. If you have any issues with getting either emails from AP and College Board or getting into the MyAP portal, let me know. I would do this as soon as you can. Make sure that you are getting emails or that you have access to MyAP. All right, onward. The schedule. So they changed it up a little bit. Normally, everybody sits down at our exam was going to be at noon at Bay Path, but here you're going to access. We're right here. So we are at Physics 1 Algebra Based. That's going to be Thursday, May 14th. And for us, we are Eastern Time. That's going to be 4 p.m. So what's interesting is how they've done this. Every single human being on the planet who is taking an AP Physics 1 algebra-based exam is going to do so at the exact same time. So they've adjusted those times for time zones accordingly. So Physics 1 algebra-based, Thursday, May 14th, 4 o'clock p.m. All right, put that in your calendar. All right, these are other exams. All right, and this is basically what I just said. We're going to take it worldwide, and we will identify our local testing time. We have just done that. So what to expect on this year's exam. So you might be worried that it's going to be harder or easier I mean, I guess you wouldn't be worried if it's easier, but that it will be more difficult to earn a 3, 4, or 5, which are the passing scores. That is not true. Even though the exams look different, they are not graded in a different way, easier or harder. The AP exams, at least the free response sections, are always graded by human beings. And since this test will be only free response questions, you can be guaranteed that it will be scored but in its entirety by a human being. And they will take our current situation into account, obviously. So do your best. They're never graded on a curve. You're not competing with anybody. That's important to note. You're not competing against other students. If every student earned a 5, every student earned a 5. The College Board is fine with that. They set the standards and they try to set it so that it's fair. But if if that particular year everybody was awesome at physics, then everybody gets a 5. Fantastic. And don't worry if you don't complete all parts of the question. Do as much of it as you can and then submit. We're going to talk about submitting in a moment. You can read this. What is important to gather from this slide is that if you don't get a score of 3 or higher because of the exam format, I can actually request a review and a confirmation of your score. I can get it rescored, essentially. So if you think that you were not fairly scored, you can let me know and I can submit a request for review. All right, so the exam questions will be viewed in a web browser, such as Chrome. Students are going to write or type your responses outside of that browser, and then you have 3 options to submit responses. You can either copy and paste your typed response into the browser. You can attach a typed response in a document, a Word document or something else, and you can attach 1 or more photos of a handwritten response using your camera. So you can either type them up and copy and paste, you can attach that document, or you can take a picture of your handwritten document. All right. Your first option for submitting your response is copy and paste. So that would be where you have a document open, Google Docs, Microsoft Word, Notes, etc. You would type your AP ID and your initials at the top of the response. So you're going to get a timer. This is important. You're going to get a timer on your exam. When the timer has 5 minutes remaining, you're going to want to copy and paste the response into the space indicated and click submit. So that timer is going to tell you how long you have left to answer that particular question. We're going to go over that in a little bit. So one example of how you could do this is side-by-side windows where you have the question open and then next to it you have your document and you would have your timer visible. So the next option is going to be attach a document and then click submit. So this is best done on a laptop or desktop computer. So you're going to type up your document and then save as one of the accepted file formats. So .doc, .docx, .pdf, .txt, .odt. So those are the acceptable formats. If your exam has 2 questions, which our exam does, you must create, save, attach, and submit 2 separate documents, 1 for each question. And then finally, you're going to have an option of attaching photos of handwritten responses and then clicking submit. So you would write your response on paper. Make sure that you are writing clearly with a dark pen or a pencil. When you have 5 minutes remaining, again, take a photo of your response in vertical orientation and then 1 page per photo. So you have a maximum of 5 photos per test question. So you have 5 pages of work that you can submit. And you want to submit in .png, .jpeg, or .jpg, or .jpeg. Music theory exam we don't have to worry about. World language you don't have to worry about. Accommodations. If you do have accommodations, you need assistive technology. You can get extended time if you have accommodations. And that you would want to, if you have details, you want to go to cb.org. That's College Board, cb.org/AP2020 accommodations. Makeup exam, we can deal with that if we have to. All right, 5 steps to take before exam day. So here's what we want to do. We want to review our contact information, make sure that we're getting emails or that we can log into MyAP. We're going to check your technology, choose which device you're going to take your exam on, make sure that it is okay to do so. You're going to practice submitting a response. The online AP demo will be May 4th, so you can log on and you can test. It's not going to be real questions. It'll be a way for you to test whether or not your device is going to work the way you want it to. You're going to gather what you need for the exam. For us, that's a calculator and the AP formula sheet. Then you receive your e-tickets and the exam continues. So review your contact information. You want to sign into MyAP, confirm your email address, and make sure that you're receiving updates from the College Board. That's very important. Check your tech, all right? Choose your device. I would say your best option is going to be a laptop or a desktop computer. I think that's the easiest way for you to have multiple tabs open, one for reading the question, the other for typing up your response and then submitting it from that document. So again, I've said this in an email, but this year's questions won't require you to submit graphs or diagrams. So it's really only going to be typed responses. So I believe our exam is one laboratory experiment design question and one qualitative quantitative translation, both of which are completely typable without any symbols. Okay. Make sure you identify which document type you are going to use. If you're using a cloud document like Google Docs, you will need to download and then attach it because it needs to be in a document format. If you're going to use two documents for our test, you're going to want to name them AP Physics Question 1 and AP Physics Question 2, and make sure that you're uploading the correct one for that particular exam. So if you're going to do your handwriting, make sure you choose white paper, lined or unlined, that's fine. Either way, generally try to use a standard size. A pen with blue or black ink, we already talked about the 5 pages acceptable. So you can test your technology, again, with that exam demo on May 4th at cb.org/AP-demo. So on May 4th, if you'd like to test your technology to make sure it's going to work the way you want it to, cb.org/AP-demo. All right, and here's what you're going to need. You're going to need your email ticket, your checklist, which you don't have to check off, but it can be useful. Then your laptop, smartphone, tablet, whatever. You're going to use, they recommend Chrome, but you don't have to use Chrome. Here's where things get interesting. You can actually use, because, I mean, really, there's no way of stopping you, you are fully allowed to use class notes, study guides, textbooks, previous assignments, tests, quizzes, whatever. You can reference anything you want. The only thing that they say, they can't stop you from doing this, but I would recommend you not try to Google anything, all right? Because not only it's cheating if you're really thinking about it morally, but in a practical sense, you're wasting a lot of time. I mean, you're only getting a fixed amount of time to answer these questions, and if you're going to spend 5 minutes Googling something, you wasted 5 minutes of your time. You probably aren't going to learn anything you didn't actually already know, and it's just going to be a waste of time. So don't Google stuff. But if you want to look at old rubrics, cough, cough, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, of how they grade, like, let's say, laboratory design questions, that could be particularly useful. So maybe think about having some stuff that you think would be useful on hand. All right, we'll keep going. Here we go. So us, table of information and formulas, calculator, onward we go. All right, optional resources. So again, class notes, study guides, textbooks, assignments, calculators. Now, shared notes, such as notes that you write in a Google Doc shared by multiple people, must be downloaded to your device to prevent collaboration violations. They will be looking for plagiarization and cheating. Plagiarization, is that a word? Oh well. So again, the more time you spend searching the web, the less time you spend answering exam questions. Copying from websites, social media, or online forums is considered plagiarism. Don't do it. All right, May 4th, you'll receive a list of confirmation emails. Let's keep going. Checklist, exam day. Okay. So here's what you're going to want to do. For a 2-question exam, which is us, 30 minutes before your local start time, so for us that would be 3:30 in the afternoon, you're going to use your e-ticket to check into the exam. You're going to click on your ticket, and that will take you into a waiting room, and the exam will start automatically at 4. You're going to make sure you identify yourself, complete the identity information, and then you wait. So here's what's going to happen. When the clock strikes 4 o'clock, the exam will begin. You will have 25 minutes to read and develop a response to question 1. After those 25 minutes, you will have 5 minutes to submit your response and wait for question 2. It is recommended that as soon as those 25 minutes are up, you begin the uploading process so that any issues with the uploading process can be solved. Let's say you have a slow internet connection, it takes a long time for your document to upload, making sure you give yourself wiggle room before the exam automatically, after those 5 minutes, the exam will automatically move to the next question. And if you have submitted your response and it is still uploading, you can continue the exam. As long as it is uploaded and submitted, you are good to go to move on to the next question. So 25 minutes for question 1, 5 minutes to respond, 15 minutes for question 2, 5 minutes to respond, and then the exam is over. Continuing on, it is best for you to remove distractions, set your phone on Do Not Disturb, or even better, turn it off. Let everyone in the household know when you're testing so that you don't get disturbed. Make sure you are plugged in so you don't run out of battery, and then have everything next to you. All right, exam security. You may not incorporate work which is not your own. You may not provide or receive aid of any kind from anyone. So they're going to be looking for cheating. They really do a very good job at doing this. They have a lot of techniques, and actually they say most of their techniques remain confidential to make sure that nobody understands how they work, so that they can be accurate. But your exams will be scanned by plagiarism detection software, and they will be shared with me. So I can see your responses once they're graded, and I can look for any discrepancies. All right. So again, real quick, check into your exam 30 minutes before your exam, log into your email, get your ticket ready, and then make sure you pass through all the security filters to confirm your identity. You're going to click your exam ticket, and then you will get a little box right here. It says time until exam starts. Once the exam starts, the first question will automatically appear. Do not refresh your browser. You're clearing your cache, and that will cause issues because you might have to log in again, and then you're losing time on the exam. All right, answering the exam questions. You may not use Grammarly. You have to disable it, and it will detect if you have Grammarly open or running, and it will disable the exams. You can't do that. You can print out the test questions, but you can't use annotation software to annotate online. Once you submit your answer to the question, you can't go back. Again, the exam will move on automatically. 25 minutes for question 1 for us, 5 minutes to respond, and then it will automatically move on, and you can't go back. All right, so keep that in mind. Same thing, keep the timer visible. All right, basically once that 5-minute timer sets up, it will turn red. Stop what you're doing. Like, I know that you're going to want to work right up against the wire, but it's actually not in your best interest. You want to submit your work, make sure you have enough time, because imagine this, you submit an 80% complete question on time, or you submit and try to submit a 90% complete question and you miss the submission window and you can't go back. So when that 5 minutes comes up, save your work, copy and paste it, upload the document, whatever you need to do, get your answer in, all right? You can still earn a 5 even if you don't finish, okay? And if you don't submit your response on time, you won't get any credit. And that is not an acceptable reason for requesting makeup testing. If you do not submit your work in a timely manner, sucks to be you. Okay. You're going to submit your response in two-step process. Either you attach or paste your response, and then you click this lovely submit button. You can't miss it. Okay. Again, once you click submit, your response may continue to transfer. Depending on your bandwidth, this is fine. You can move on to the next question and continue working. All right, if your response continues to transfer after the exam ends, wait for an on-screen message confirming your exam is complete. If you never see the Your AP Exam is Complete message, you should go to cb.org/request makeup to explain the situation and request a makeup date. You could lose your internet connection. If you close the browser, it crashes. You can click on your e-ticket again to return to the exam. So if you close the browser, don't panic. Go to your email, click on your e-ticket. It will take you back to the exam and you can continue. All right, and then let's see here. The exam scores, again, 1 to 5. We've talked about that. And then make sure you use your free score report send. So if you sign into MyAP no later than June 20th, you get to send your AP score to one college or university for free, and then there's a fee for each other submission. So here's a bunch of testimonies by colleges, blah, 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 blah. Stay safe and healthy. Okay, cool. So if you have any issues, please do contact me. If you could if you could check your email or your MyAP login to make sure that you can receive your e-ticket, that would be awesome. Make sure you either download a copy of the AP Physics 1 formula sheet. I will try to upload one to Teams and send it to you via email. So get that formula sheet. Make sure you have a scientific calculator that has all the required functions. And if you have any issues, please do contact me. All right, take care.